What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 355. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm looking for a attorney to sue whoever decided on Henry Cavill's hairdo with Adam.
We watched Argylle.
Argylle. We finally got to it, guys. It only came out in February.
Yeah.
It's already on VOD.
I don't think it did very well in the...
It bombed. No, it didn't bomb. It imploded.
Well, I mean, they gave it a bad release time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, and then they didn't really. Well, they didn't really like market it to the James Bond crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I looked it up and was like, oh, that's the guy that done the Kingsman.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the cinematic flair of Kingsman is absolutely there.
Oh,
Front
for sure.
and present. Yeah. I mean, it may not have been as effective, but you know, it was a very colorful movie.
Very.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like if they would have gave it a better release date and marketed it to the right people, to the right demographic, then I think that it probably would have made more money. Because I mean, this was a spy thriller
comedy.
Yeah. I mean, a spy action thriller comedy. Yeah, through and through. I just feel like, I mean, even getting over the whole like klutzy girl thing, klutzy woman thing for the first, little bit of it. I mean, even after that, which I didn't hate that at all, but I can see where that might turn some of your traditional, like, oh, I'm a James Bond fan. I could see where that might turn some people off, but like, I don't know. I think it deserves better than what it got.
Well, they missed the Sam Rockwell crowd.
Exactly.
Because they didn't really push it as this. He's in this. He's about 90% of the movie. I mean,
it doesn't.
Not Henry Cavill.
Honestly, steals the show.
He steals the show
for sure. Yeah,
there's one set of footprints.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, his introduction in the film is great when they're on the train.
I'd say he saved it. I mean, like if he wasn't in this movie, I don't think I would have liked it.
Yeah,
as much. Or enjoyed it as much.
Yeah.
And be careful.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of people who are also pretty much non-existent in the film, John Cena, like,
that was a cameo.
At one point, all I saw was coffee.
Well, what's funny is the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 72.
Yeah.
And then the one where the reviewers do it.
Yeah.
They gave it a 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I don't think it's that bad.
No.
Well, I mean, it's making fun of spy movies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean, it ham-fists every trope in there.
Yeah, so it's like, of course, like going into it knowing Matthew Vaughn and is attached to it and all that stuff. Like with his way of over the topness and everything, like it's easier for me to go into that knowing exactly what I'm getting myself into as opposed to so, but I didn't hate it. And I do like how they played up Henry Cavill and John Cena as like, these super over the top, super spies. Like, I don't know, dude. It was like I would watch just those guys being spies. You know what I mean?
That'd be a great TV show.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I do think the whole like story within a story, I mean, I know it gets ironed out that it's memories being, MK Ultra through Bryce Dallas Howard's character, but I like that weird I don't know. I have a better word for it, that whole meta to it.
Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, in the way that like they had to let like the former CIA, the head of the CIA, and even Rockwell's characters, like the best thing to do is for her to like continue on her path for 5 years.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fuck with her or anything. We're just gonna see how all this plays out while the bad guys are like manipulating her and I get
Mhm.
it, like, they're trying to figure out, where the data and all that kind of stuff is, but at the same time, it's like, wouldn't they have tried to like reverse
Yeah.
MK Ultra?
What did
You know what I
Pepper
mean?
Dillon
Or
tell you?
yeah, like wouldn't they have at least tried some? It was very interesting that,
Something I also noticed too, because they ended up having it be a heavy, like they actually made it a motif in the film. Um, how quick somebody snatched up that new Beatles song
yeah,
and threw it in the film.
I enjoyed it though. I mean, Sam Rockwell, dude.
Yeah.
He's just such a likable person.
The whole part where he's like, "You mean to tell me that you shot me in a very small gap right between the heart from an idea that one of your fans sent you for a twist in book 5?" Yeah, 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 pretty much. I want to meet that fan.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, when she shot
The
him, I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Is she
Like, what are we
bad?"
doing?
She just
Yeah.
remembered that she's a double agent.
I mean, despite like Griffin stated, some of the klutzy character, not trying to really make you feel like, okay, ain't no way the twists that are coming are gonna happen. But that first hour moves like they cram so much story in that first hour.
Yeah. They crammed so much in that first hour, and then, like, it almost was the pacing was almost thrown off because act 2 leading into act 3 was kind of a drag in a lot of ways. Like, not to the point where it's almost unwatchable, but it's like, she overhears him in the bathroom, and then she runs away, and then she calls the mom, and then that's when all that stuff starts to happen. And then it's like, all right, we're gonna go to somewhere in France, and it's like we're introducing more characters and like trying to like fully figure out what's going on, and then it's like, bam, you realize that she's Argyle,
Mhm.
and then like from that point forward, it's like she's a
One
spy.
ridiculous scene after another.
Yes, yeah, and it's like she's a spy, but she's not a spy anymore, but she still has all the training and all this stuff. And then like she finds out they've got to go meet the keeper of secrets, you
Yeah,
know,
she
the
goes from being dumb to just, kind of dumb.
Oh, dude, I was
yeah.
like, "Einhorn's Finkel,
Yeah,
Finkel's
right.
two,
Einhorn." Who, the
two
whirly
scenes,
bird?
Yeah, the
dude.
whirly bird.
What? I was like,
And
"Look at this
she
Dude,
whirling dervish they're doing over here."
the two action pieces that kind of I couldn't like I enjoyed watching them because they were artfully or well choreographed and all that, but the reasoning was fucking stupid, or the way they wrote it in, like when her and Rockwell dance and they have all those multicolored smoke grenades and
Oh, that
they're
was
just in
wild.
there. Yeah, but it just killed me how that scene amounted to, like, they're just in there massacring Bryan Cranston's men. He's easily, like, the whole squad gets destroyed. Then he's like, wait, cut the vents on.
Yeah.
Like, it was so stupid. But,
When he picked her up like that, I went, "Cap."
Yeah.
and look, look,
Uh-uh.
look, listen, Bryce Dallas Howard is a beautiful woman,
For sure.
but there was just this
Watching her
weird,
fight,
yeah,
it looked weird, like it wasn't her, like something was off. Like when she was in there doing like Liam Neeson shit, I was like, something was weird. Like this was shot at a slower speed and then
Like
sped
I
up.
feel like if you cut the sound, you would have heard some really out of shape, like,
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Not that it mattered, but I thought that was, and then of course the oil skating scene. I mean, dude, at one point when she's gliding and she's just slicing everyone's tendons, I'm like, isn't anybody gonna move out of the way?
Yeah.
Like, there's
I'm over
like
here like,
20
I don't think
guys that
oil
are.
works like that.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
think that's like,
And then they
Never mind that.
and then they make a point to be like, "Well, we're not gonna fire the gun anymore." And then she gets the gun and just starts shooting it everywhere. And it's like, so she's like, is this a murder-suicide situation
yeah,
that's fixing to happen here?
it's an
Like, what are
OSHA
we doing?
violation. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Right, shutting it down, dude.
Yeah. Um, no, that hallway sequence, that to me was one of my favorite parts of the movie because it's just so fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
when they
Like,
come out of that apartment.
no, whenever they with the grenades, the colorful smoke
Oh,
grenades and stuff.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it was absolutely fun to watch. I just thought that in the context of the movie, it was a little,
it was random.
Yeah,
yeah.
Y'all
but
know a whirlybird's a helicopter.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Definitely look like a helicopter.
that one shot, I always like it because you see it in other films where they're dealing with like a story's been being written and the audience is getting to see the visual representation of it.
Yeah.
So when the author fucks up, you see it in the
Yeah.
play out,
He's like, I wouldn't say that. This doesn't sound good
Yeah,
to me.
I loved how
Run
the
it back.
the way the fireworks reverse
Yeah.
back in and all that stuff, and just even those moments too where he's like, "Come on, Elle, figure it the fuck out," like
Dude,
he would kind of.
when he threw that cat off that roof,
Yeah.
the way that he just reached behind her and come up, and then she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He just lets it go. Was so funny.
Yeah.
There was another one that was pretty good too. Was when he whenever Sam Rockwell's fighting on the train, and there's that whole moment right before that fight kicks off where he's talking to her, but as she's blinking, like when everything first starts kind of wigging the fuck out for her,
Yeah.
and you see just as she's blinking, it's cutting between Rockwell and Cavill.
Yeah.
I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah, you
I
could see
agree.
her eyelashes too,
Yeah.
like in the shot.
Oh yeah, it felt like a cutscene in a video game where like you have to make a couple choices as like it's playing out. It's like, blah 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 blinks, what are the numbers, Mason? And then
Yeah.
like a prompt comes up that's like, think about the numbers. Who gives a shit? Get up and start walking.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I very much enjoyed the movie. Like, this is going in with, at least for me, with the Kingsman stuff. And whenever you look at like what Matthew Vaughn has done, it's like, why have they not give him Deadpool? Like I think me personally, like the way that he shoots, like his comedic sensibilities would work very well with Ryan Reynolds' comedic sensibilities. And like his choice of visuals would complement. I don't understand why that hasn't happened yet. But whenever you look at his filmography here, he did Layer Cake and then Stardust, Kick Ass, X-Men First Class, the Kingsman stuff, and then Argylle. And
He's
I
it's like
mean,
produced a lot of good shit too, like Rocket Man,
yeah.
like
oh dude,
Fantastic Four.
he I mean, you can definitely tell that the Kingsman films helped him solidify a style. Like he has like a signature look now.
Yeah, for
Like you
sure.
can almost like you can tell from the trailers to the cinematics. You
It
can
would
almost
fit Deadpool.
Yeah.
And I agree too. Like, I mean, I think I mean, like you guys said when quoting his filmography, like he did, what was it, First Class,
Mhm.
Yes.
which is
Which was
arguably the best of those prequel X-Men movies.
and close to being the best X-Men movie, period. Like, I would put it in the top 3, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I mean, the big like Magneto crossing the line scene where he finally plants the coin between Bacon's head and like Xavier's flipping the fuck out because he can feel it because he's inside dude's mind.
yeah.
So I didn't know this,
I
but
mean
he
that
got his start doing Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, producing. He did that.
Mm,
Snatch.
there
that makes
there
sense.
is a Guy Ritchie
Yeah.
tinge to this movie.
Yeah.
Like if you told me Guy Ritchie directed it, I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah, for
well,
sure.
he's like the visual Guy Ritchie, where Guy Ritchie is the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
Well,
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie's got Jason Statham.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But he goes all in with his dialogue, and a lot of the overtop stuff that happens is just like the situational, and then the reactions of the people. Whereas like um, Matthew Vaughn is more of like, I'm going to show you something absolutely fucking ridiculous, and you're just going to have to
Yeah.
accept it for what it
What's the
is.
shootout
Like,
in his church?
yeah, it's like it's gonna be insane. So, um,
Um, his choice of disco was interesting.
Never seen Layer Cake.
I don't think I
I have
have
to give
either,
that
but
a
I would,
view.
yeah,
That's some early Daniel Craig.
yeah, but
And that
yeah,
he produced a Lock, Stock TV show with 7 episodes? What?
yeah. There's a Snatch and a Gentleman TV series, believe it or not. So, but I'm gonna give it a full star. I very, very much enjoyed it.
I give it a star.
Same star.
Can't wait to see the Kingsman stuff. I haven't watched the Kingsman yet, so
Is that the prequel?
yeah,
So good.
yeah.
Loved it.
I gotta get on that for sure. But we got a little bit of movie news I'm going to hit real quick here. So first up, Anthony Hopkins to star in another reimagining of the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Down.
per Deadline, Hopkins, who is recognized for his role as Hannibal Lecter and Odin, will take the part of Dr. Moreau, brilliant geneticist who isolates himself after his government funding is cut off when an experiment goes haywire. When two documentary filmmakers embark on a quest for discovery, they soon find their journey turned into a fight for survival thanks to Moreau's mad mutations. The movie marks Hopkins' 95th feature film appearance.
Damn.
Eyes in the Trees will be directed. I guess that's what they're going for. That's the name. Eyes in the Trees will be directed by Timothy Woodward Jr. with a script by B. Harrison Smith and Mike Manning. Artisha Mann Cooper is set to produce the film alongside Damon Hillen, and Sasha Yulin. There's no word yet on additional casting or when the movie might head into production. He turned 86 recently.
Damn.
Yeah. But how old was Brando when he did it?
That was
I
in
mean,
96. Let's see. Hang on. Damn, he was born in 1924. Holy shit.
yeah. Well, he was 80 when he passed. Brando was. So,
He was
and that was,
72.
yeah.
Dude, that movie, he's a trip in that shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
I got a documentary on my Plex server about the making of it. It was
Yeah.
hell making that movie.
Yeah, I've heard it was bad.
Every time I think of Dr. Monroe, I just see him sitting in that fucking hat,
Yeah,
painted
right.
face, that little man that he had with him, the little.
Yeah.
What a
So,
fucking strange movie. There
Eyes
was
in the
another
Tree.
version in the 70s that they made.
I wonder how that is. But yeah, I'm interested in checking this out. And it's interesting that they're going from a documentary filmmaker perspective on it. That's gonna be interesting, you know? So also John Wick TV series is now in the works. So courtesy of Lionsgate, the vice chairman of Lionsgate, Michael Burns, revealed some information about the small screen project set in the violent world of Baba Yaga during a recent Q&A at the Morgan Stanley Media Conference, and teased the continuation of the John Wick franchise with further spin-offs. I think we'll take one of our great action franchises starring Keanu Reeves. I think it'll be a television series. At present, wider details regarding the John Wick TV series remain unknown, but the show does come following the franchise's recent foray into serial storytelling with Peacock's prequel, The Continental, from the world of John Wick. Following Colin Woodell as a young Winston Scott, the series explores how the character came to the position to his position as proprietor of the New York branch of the Continental. Speaking with Ian McShane here, who plays Winston Scott throughout the John Wick movies, declared that he has no time for the Continental, revealing that no one involved in the franchise was asked about it. No, I wouldn't watch it. I have no intentions. Nobody, I don't think Keanu watched it, neither has Chad. It has nothing to do with our movies. It's just a question of a TV company cashing in on the series and taking the option to air. They never asked us about anything, so why would I be interested in seeing it? I'm afraid their arrogance is getting the show out is beyond me, so I wish them well. I think it's come and gone, hasn't it?
Is he talking about the Continental?
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's kind of better than the John Wick movies. Here's why.
I've heard good
There's a
things.
fucking plot, right?
Right.
It's not just wicking
Yeah.
out like my car, my dog, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to, someone's running the Continental, they're trying to get it. Like it goes deep into the, my
Yeah.
grandfather even
Well,
liked it more than,
there was an actual story to tell.
yeah.
Right.
Well, and it goes like, there's some shit going on behind the scenes. I don't know if you guys have watched this. I'm like, I'm not saying nothing, but
Yeah, I haven't watched it
there's
yet.
stuff to it. It was
Right.
good. So fuck what he says.
I
He's
mean,
just mad because he wasn't in it.
it is strange that there's a perspective like that for the show because
Yeah.
I mean it's like like a John Wick show itself is going to be a harder order to fill because I mean they're going to have to be topping John Wick Chapter 4,
Right.
and at least on a stunt level, that movie is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well,
I
speaking
want
of
John Wick
topping,
to stay dead.
right. Well,
Like,
it says that John Wick 5 is reportedly on the cards, with Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Joe Drake recently revealing that work is now underway on the script following the conclusion of the WGA strike. On the Wick side, we got multiple spinoffs in Wick 5. We started to work on it right when the writer's strike started, and we've gotten back to work as soon as it ended. If that wasn't already enough, John Wick director Chad Stileski has also revealed that an anime series is in the works. So we're really looking forward to that. We're really excited about it because we're doing that and a Japanese anime because I love Japanese anime so much. So to create all the cool stories that anime could achieve better than we could in the TV show to expand our world, we'll still get our fix. You know what I mean? And we'll still have all the fun. So
And
that
you
we're
know
gonna.
the cool thing with them having an anime approach or just animation in general is that they'll be able to go there like budget that they won't be limited, so they could just take this story off the fucking rails.
Yeah.
y'all remember when we did the movies, we talked about it like kind of feeling like an anime.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And then, of course, Ballerina is scheduled to be released on, as of right now, on June the 6th, 2025. So we've got a lot of wickness going on here. Some wicked
The
wickness.
fucking
If they,
cash cow.
yeah. And if they do a John Wick TV series, it's got to be a prequel, right?
That show kind of set up. You remember, like it's gonna be him as a kid
Yeah.
going to the place, whatever.
Mhm. Right. So, I mean, it looks like they have a lot of stuff.
The
If we got the Continental, Ballerina is going to be the spinoff of the from what John Wick 2 or 3. The potential John Wick prequel about his story, an anime. I'm assuming it would be stupid for them to not have the anime take place in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
well, I mean, it would be interesting if that told an entire story through the Tokyo Continental.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that's the cool part about the John Wick universe is that, or like something that came to
Yeah.
my mind was
Pick a
like
country.
those hotels can be
Yep.
hubs for different stories that don't
And
even.
there's so many assassins. I mean,
yeah,
they did it in the Continental. They just brought in a whole new gang of motherfuckers. Like,
right. So yeah, we got some wicked wickedness happening here.
ooh.
So be on the lookout for that. So this is something that I thought was interesting. James Gunn eyes collaboration with Flash star Grant Gustin for DCU projects. So James Gunn's vision for the future of DC Universe has been a topic of much speculation and excitement. Amid the buzz, a recent revelation has sparked interest among DC fans. Gunn's openness to collaborating with Grant Gustin, best known for his portrayal of the Flash in the Arrowverse. Of course, I'd love to work with him at some point. Possibility of a partnership between Gunn and Gustin arises as the latter concludes his role as the Flash, leaving fans excited about the talented actor's future endeavors. Gustin's post Flash career is already off to a promising start with roles in the romantic comedy Puppy Love and the upcoming biopic Operation Blue Eyes, where he will portray Barry Keenan, the mastermind behind the infamous kidnapping of Frank Sinatra Jr. Moreover, Gustin's foray into theater with a lead role in the Broadway musical Water for Elephants showcases his range and dedication. This is what Gunn had to say. Grant is an incredibly talented guy performing now on Broadway, I believe, and is absolutely not going to waste just because he's not currently in a DC project. But of course, I'd love to work with him at some point. Um, what if they bring him back as the
That's a
Flash?
Flash.
I mean,
Well, he keeps his nose clean. That's
oh
a
yeah,
plus.
yeah.
He kind of fits the look of the Flash too, man. Just
I mean, the Flash TV series, I haven't watched all of it, of course. But it's really good. And like
Yeah,
I,
it's like any long form show. It's got seasons that are a little weaker than others, but I mean,
but it's also really good for was it CW?
yeah.
Like when they started churning out that kind of content, it was like, okay, wait a minute now, we might have to give this a chance. Like,
yeah,
At first, excuse me. The first couple of seasons were great in my opinion.
yeah.
how many did he
I've
get?
wa- I've watched the first 4 seasons, I think, of it.
There's
Um,
9
there's
seasons,
yeah,
184 episodes.
yeah.
Damn.
So, and I thought he did great as Barry and as the Flash. Like he did a great job at being able to split those two, but still remain. He did a Tom Holland with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he did a great job at splitting the two, uh, and being believable as both.
He never
So
kidnapped anyone
not yet.
or beat up a lady that was doing karaoke.
Yeah, not yet. You know. Um. So next up here, there's rumors going around that they may cast Juan Carlo Esposito as Professor X and Denzel Washington as Magneto.
I saw this on X.
So Juan Carlo has came out, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
responded to fan casting suggesting that he should play Professor Xavier in the MCU reboot of the X-Men. Speaking with Amon Warman, the actor revealed that he had seen the casting suggestion online and that he does think about it, though there is one thing about the role that poses a problem for him. I've given it a cursory glance in my brain, and immediately I go, it would be great to play Professor X and some other incarnation that that just the wheelchair. What? it would be great to play Professor X in some other incarnation that just the wheelchair, right? Because the physical idea of being in a wheelchair every single day does not appeal to me. I just don't feel that old and I don't like to sit that much. However, despite his reluctance to play the role due to the physical idea of being in a wheelchair all the time, Esposito did go on to add that there are potential ways around that, but certainly we could figure something out maybe. Professor X wasn't always in the wheelchair, but that is part of his character development. So I think about it a little bit, but I don't give it all my thought because it would have to come to me. What do you guys think about those two?
Oh, dude. Fucking
Well,
Denzel Washington would be like, I get surgical with this shit,
he'd
Xavier.
be yeah, I feel like he'd be chewing gum going,
Yeah.
I can
You'll be
move the
playing
iron in your
basketball in
blood.
Pelican Bay.
No, like for real though, him as Professor X would be great. I'd enjoy
Yes.
it. But instead of Denzel Washington, and I hate that he's already been cast in the MCU, but I think Idris Elba would play a good Magneto.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Nah, I want Book of
Um,
Eli.
I really like that movie a
I was
lot.
blind the whole time.
I know,
He
right?
He was
memorized the
blind the
words.
whole time.
He
God
memorized the
really was
Bible
on his
cover to
side, dude.
cover.
I would like to see Gus as a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think we've ever seen him in a role where he's a good guy, right?
Look, listen, and don't. I mean, whenever you look at the link in the channel here, I mean, god damn, it's even perfect coloring, dude. He should play Zordon in a Power Rangers movie. Like, think
Ranger.
about it.
Yeah.
Even his voice would be, had a
Yeah.
little
You better
verb.
bring me the Sith Rangers. Look at me, Hector.
I
Alpha,
Look at me, Green
get me.
Ranger.
I need teenagers with attitude.
I think that his disposition would be great for Professor X because Professor X, unless he's dealing with some crazy mind nonsense that's happening, is always like very reserved and very cautious. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
that like he would do a great job at portraying that.
And that like look he gives where he doesn't move,
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see, and that alone, what you're saying, Adam. I mean, think about it. With Breaking Bad, with The Mandalorian, the guy's a great bad guy.
Yeah.
Like he's good at holding that gaze, or he's good at playing the kind of
I mean,
character
he could
where,
even play Magneto.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But he's good at playing the villain that you feel like, man, he might win.
I'm still on board with that Mr. Freeze.
Oh, I think he would
Yes,
be perfect
Yeah.
as Mr.
Somebody get James
Freeze.
Gunn
that's.
on the phone.
I forgot about that too. You mentioned it, Adam. That's like dream casting level
Just
right
seeing the
there.
picture of him and
Yeah.
the costume was better. The one in the movie back in the day kind of looked. It was just goofy. It was big, bulky.
Well,
Over the
and
top.
there's such a good story to tell with Mr. Freeze too in the Batman universe.
Yes.
Well, like
Absolutely.
he's a good bad guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Kind of like Thanos, man.
he takes the sympathetic villain and tones it down. Well, I mean, it's outrageous. He's Mr. Freeze for crying out loud. But the story though makes it to where you're like, he's fucking these people up, but you're kind of like, I kind of get why he's doing it.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then if they bring him back, he's going to be fighting global warming. That's right. I mean, Mr. Freeze takes on global warming. But since you brought X-Men up, you guys saw where they fired the creator of X-Men 97?
I
Yeah, he
did.
was.
That's
The
crazy.
show is about to drop,
Yeah.
and they fired the
Well,
creator.
I wonder if they got rid of him before any backlash.
I
Which
don't
that
know.
trailer looks like a banger, man.
I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of hush hush,
Yeah.
but it's weird to fire the creator like 3 weeks before it comes out or a week.
Yeah. And he
I mean,
also worked on Moon Knight, and he was working on Blade as well. So
Mm,
he might have had some creative differences with some people, because
mm,
Blade's like Moon Knight's already done. X-Men 97's done. It's fixing to come out. But like Blade, it's
it's in
been
tug of
almost
war, man.
yeah, it's almost been in development hell, so
Well, I
mm.
mean, a big lot of that development hell, sadly, is because Mashal Ali was like, dude, you guys can't write this character for shit, and I won't play it unless he's written well,
Well, I'm
yeah.
seeing here
or at
that
least that's what the reports were.
he was the writer on The Witcher season 1 and 2. He may be one of those guys that was like, "No, we have to do this a certain way," and they're like,
Yeah,
"Mm, can't do
that's
that."
true.
He's
Yeah,
like,
because
"Well, I'm not gonna bend the knee. I mean, I'm not putting the dress on." So
yeah, so but Juan Carlo here, he addressed the idea of playing Xavier, revealing how much he would like to play the Marvel icon. Even back in 2022, he said, "I'd love that. I'd play that character with force, grace, and calm. Someone who controls the chaos, but someone who also has the ability to uplift and inspire." He gets the assignment. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think
I would love.
Denzel would do it.
Nah, I mean, I think
Those
he'll be in.
has he ever? I don't know though, because has he ever done a superhero film? Those actors, man, they
I
got
could,
rules
I
about
could
being
see,
superheroes.
I could see Denzel Washington playing someone like a General Ross variant or a General Rikers.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him being one of
Oh
those
yeah,
like fanatical military people that kind of become part of a hero's origin story, you know?
Yeah. So I would like to see that though. Get Gus in there, please. So Bob Iger believes that Deadpool and Wolverine will be one of the more successful Marvel movies.
oh shit, Sherlock.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Iger also addressed the notion of, quote, audience fatigue and insisted the Marvel Cinematic Universe's success was, quote, not an accident. According to Business Insider, the MCU has made over 29 billion so far at the global box office. Iger continued to argue the point at the conference by saying, a lot of people think it's audience fatigue. It's not audience fatigue. They want great films, and if you build it great, they will come. And there are countless examples of that. Some are ours and some are others. Oppenheimer is a perfect example of that. Just a fantastic film. Bob Iger has high hopes for Deadpool and Wolverine. While some MCU films like the Marvels disappointed at the box office, Marvel has still enjoyed their fair share of success stories since the record-setting ways of Avengers Endgame in 2019. For instance, Spider-Man No Way Home made 1.92 billion, and it even dropped during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, as the Disney CEO points out, it may not be audience fatigue after all. Iger said in the same interview, focus is really important. We reduce the output of Marvel, both the numbers of films they make and the number of TV shows, and that really becomes critical. But I feel good about the team. I feel good about the IP we're making. I talked about a lot of the projects. We look years ahead. Really, it's iterative. Iterative. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 became the second highest grossing installment in that particular series, making a total of 846 million. Today, of course, James Gunn's working on the DCU. Um, Not only do you look at the films you're making, this is another quote from Iger. Not only do you look at the films you're making, you look at every part of the process, who the directors are, who's being cast, reading scripts. I personally watch films 3 to 5 times with the team and just create a culture of excellence and respect, which is really important with the creative community. And again, the track record speaks for itself. I think the most important thing that Bob Iger and the rest of the team over at Marvel needs to understand is like, you can reduce the output of Marvel. Sure. You can say that it's audience fatigue or superhero fatigue. Sure. But really, what it comes down to is people are going to pay to see you tell the stories that are interesting to them. So if we're going to look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 versus the Marvels, which one of those two stories were more interesting? Which one of those two movies had the more interesting characters in it?
Yeah,
Which one of those?
likable characters. Like,
Yeah. So like that's what Bob and the rest of the Marvel team needs to understand is like you said here, um, they want great films, and if you build it great, they will come.
mhm,
Okay, building great films doesn't mean that you're pushing something specific. It means that you're catering to your audience, right?
mhm.
And what is your most popular demographic for Marvel movies?
I would say males.
I would
Young
say,
young adults.
but okay, if it's young adults though, then wouldn't the Marvels had made potentially more?
Oh,
Nerds.
it would have, but the problem with the Marvels isn't the demographic it was aimed after. It was the movie shit writing.
Right. I mean, so I believe if the writing team would have focused that movie more so as a traditional superhero flick and kind of like catered towards the audience that likes and enjoys that character, then it would have made more. The most of the people that are paying to watch your movie, that are going to the movie theater to watch your movie, yeah, it might be young adults, it might be kids, but like you gotta like look at what the greater audience wants in that situation because they've been catering to the young kids and it's gotten them mixed results. My
And they've
opinion.
Well,
lost a lot of money.
and
Yeah,
I agree, and I see what you're saying. Like these characters, while the movies are being targeted at young adults, the movies' characters and the stories they're pertaining to, the popularity and the people that are going to spend money on it are the folks that are our age and older, the ones that
Yeah,
grew up
the
in
younger adults will get their chance down the line. You know what I
and
mean? When we've
it
moved on
it's
from a like,
and it's very much more prevalent now with the multiverse stuff they're throwing in, and you know a lot of folks that that are our age didn't necessarily read the comic books, but the Infinity Saga had them by the eyes, man. Like they were captivated by that shit. So where there was once few, there's now many. And, I mean, it all plays into the greater picture, but it's just, I'm trying not to talk in circles really, to be honest with y'all, but it's like they aimed for a demographic that doesn't really care about it.
yeah,
but every time you go to the theater to watch one of these movies, a lot of dudes,
yeah,
mostly dudes.
yeah. And that's where I think that they need to understand it's like, look, Deadpool and is going to make so much fucking money because
Yeah,
it's going to take all of the bullshit that's been tried to be pushed out and just like get rid of all that shit, discard all that shit and tell the story that they want to tell. That's what Guardians of the Galaxy did. And that's what Spider-Man did. Like it pushed all of the bullshit out that didn't necessarily need to be there. Or if you're
chuffa.
going to do yeah, or if you're gonna do that, at least do it in a very interesting and creative kind of way, you know?
Well, also too, a lot of hype behind this movie is that like even though people are pumped for Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, it's really Hugh Jackman people are excited the most about
Well, them
because
together,
because it's a
come
chance
together.
to
You see the
see
poster? That's a
Yeah.
cool
yeah,
poster
I mean it's a chance to see Hugh Jackman one more time as Wolverine. I mean, of course.
in the yellow suit.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see him with the Disney flair, the comic accuracy attempts, and so, like, that's gonna draw so many people
Rated
in,
R.
But
again.
Yeah.
but but even though Bob Iger might be right when he was saying that it's gonna make a shit ton of money, because I mean, duh.
Yeah.
But it's also though, don't get too cocky because not every Marvel film is going to have that competitive edge. It's not gonna have a star power. Like next to Hugh Jackman, you'd have to bring either Patrick Stewart or any of the original X-Men actors, or you have to bring back Robert Downey Jr., and that's off the table.
Well, and that's what they're doing with Secret Wars.
Yep.
Like they're already building up for all that
They're gonna
because
do it.
Secret Wars is going to bring back a lot of the original X-Men actors to play original X-Men characters. Hugh Jackman's already confirmed that he will be back in Secret Wars. Of course, Deadpool's going to be there. Like that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a full active pivot because they understand that it's like this is what your audience wants, and they saw that with Spider-Man. And then also it's like let's focus on the story here and let's focus on like the characters themselves and let's not focus as much on like all the chuffa. And so I think that Secret Wars is going to make a shitload of money. I know for a fact that Deadpool's going to make a shitload of money. And I think Deadpool is going to almost be a Marvel rebranding. If they do the right thing, it will be.
I
Just a
definitely
great
think
reset.
I definitely think they're gonna try to pivot and almost make Deadpool be the face of Marvel for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, they signed him to some ridiculous amount of like 20 pictures.
Yeah.
They've got him under contract for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I think this is a good move. This is the best way to bring the two IPs together.
I agree. And
Deadpool.
with Deadpool, you're getting this more arrogant in your face, don't give a shit about, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a certain stigma that's lost
He opened with
whenever.
pegging.
Yes,
He's like, it might be
exactly.
new to Disney, but it's not new to me.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
like
it's like,
yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. So I do feel like a full pivot's happening. And that might be why, dude from X-Men 97, was I don't know. There might be other people that pivot. Who knows? Nobody really knows what's happening behind the scenes over there. But like I'm I'm glad that they're slowing down and actually thinking about the movies they're making because we've had some real stinkers in the last group of Marvel
Yeah.
movies.
Well, the amount of
So,
money they lost,
yes.
they're like, whoa. Even on the Disney remakes,
Yeah.
they fired that person. It's like, they're like,
Yeah.
man, we're bleeding money.
Yeah. I
Like,
lose money.
Yeah, it's like, you the thing that a lot of those movies have is they have some cool scenes, but that doesn't mean it's gonna carry the film.
yeah.
No, and it doesn't. I mean, they brought Namor in, and it couldn't save that Black Panther shit show. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Like so. But yeah, I'm interested to see the new the new Marvel
The new
and what they
MCU.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
see what they decide to do.
Well, the fact that Disney's going an R rating, right?
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah. Never thought it would
Like,
happen.
no. But they have to. There's no choice.
No.
They
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. You're right.
Honorable mention before we move on. I had the Oscar ship. I was like, oh, I see you already got it here.
Yeah.
Venom 3 got its title.
Oh yeah, I
Venom the
saw.
Last Dance.
Yeah.
Shit, what?
Yeah, The Last Dance. It's like,
Which
what about
is
that cameo? And
yeah,
never
right.
mind.
Well, and then there was like I saw a quote from um oh my god, Michael
Oh,
Keaton because he showed up at the end of fucking goddamn, the vampire movie, Morbius. You know that they brought the Vulture into Morbius and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and his quote was like, "I showed up one day, we shot it. Nobody knew what the fuck was happening. Nobody had a fucking clue what we were doing.
That
It
sounds
was
about
just like,
right.
yeah, it was just some last minute fucking pigeonhole type shit that happened,
That
and it's
Sony
like,
wanted to
okay,
do.
yeah, right. So he's like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how affects anything, and so
Well, they were trying to get hype,
yeah,
but that was the best part of the movie, really.
yeah,
Like, holy shit, it's Michael Keaton.
it's Morbin time, dude. So we do have the complete Oscar winners list. So we're gonna just start at the top here. Best Picture, of course, went to Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Best Actor in a Leading Role went to Cillian Murphy.
Mm,
I mean, a
Best
clean sweep.
Yeah,
they got 7.
Best Actress in a Leading Role was Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Next movie that we're watching.
Yeah. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, RDJ for Oppenheimer, Robert Downey. Best Actress in a Supporting Role was Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I've heard really good things about The Holdovers, by the way.
There's there may be a lawsuit.
Yeah, I
You
saw
saw
some.
that where somebody's got a
Yeah,
script or something and it's like exactly the same,
yeah,
like row.
yeah. What have we? Best Director went to, of course, Nolan for Oppenheimer.
Earned it.
Best Writing for Adapted Screenplay was American Fiction. Best Writing Original Screenplay went to Anatomy of a Fall. Best International Film went to The Zone of Interest.
W.
Best Animated Feature Film was The Boy and the Heron. Best Documentary,
Mm.
Best Live Action Short Film, Best Documentary Short Film, Best Animated Short Film, Best Film Editing went to Oppenheimer. Best Cinematography went to Oppenheimer. Best
It's a
Production,
coming.
yeah. Best Production Design went to Poor Things.
Makes sense.
Uh, Best Costume Design went to Poor
I feel like
Things.
those two kind of go together, but okay.
Yeah. Best Music Original Score went to Oppenheimer. Best Makeup and Hairstyle went to Poor Things. Best Sound went to The Zone of Interest, which is fucking wild
That is
because one
wild.
thing that you remember about that movie,
Yep.
you know, and it went
But
up
it
against,
stands out.
yeah, it went up against The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, and Oppenheimer, and it won. That's wild. Best Visual Effects, Godzilla -1.
This was amazing.
My
Yes.
These
boy.
dudes came up on stage and one of them was holding like a little Godzilla toy. They
Yeah,
were so happy, you know.
Yeah, that was the director.
that's awesome.
I was
So,
Well
happy to see them win
deserved.
that.
Well
yeah.
deserved.
7 Oscars.
I mean,
Dude,
hell,
he won an Oscar on a $15 million budget for a
They were so
Godzilla
happy too.
movie.
They were like Japanese happy. Like,
yeah,
ooh, you know.
yeah. I mean, just from the winners that we have here, Oppenheimer and Poor Things seem to sweep
Yeah.
everything just about it. You know what I mean? So, but hats off to them. Oppenheimer was a great flick, so it's no
I
surprise
knew he was
there.
gonna get an Oscar, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
I knew it. I was like, yeah, that's
I was honestly, and whenever you look at like Best Actor in a Leading Role, nobody from Killers of the Flower Moon was nominated.
No
the chick
one.
was.
Yeah, she was for Best Actress, but
Yeah.
for Best Actor, no,
Which
nobody.
is wild that Leo wasn't on the they're
Yeah,
like, we
or
gave him an Oscar already.
yeah,
Like for
yeah,
real?
yeah.
Well, in best supporting role, no
Robert
Robert De
Downey
Niro.
or
Oh,
Robert.
he is. He's in there.
Yeah, he's on there.
Okay.
He's Robert De Niro. Um, let's see. Best Director, he got nominated. Scorsese got nominated. Um, best writing, adapted screenplay. I mean, that was based off of a book. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that Killers of the Flower Moon was better than Oppenheimer. Don't get me. I'm not saying that, but it's wild that like it didn't get nominated for more stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
because they're
But
completely different movies.
yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
they hold their own in their category.
Yeah, both
I've
biopic.
heard good shit about that Anatomy of a Fall. I actually heard Bill Burr talking about it. He said he loved it. I
May
think
have
it's
to
a
throw that on
foreign.
the pile.
I've got it up.
I mean,
I haven't watched it yet. It's like a little thriller,
yeah.
crime thriller, you know.
Oh, I'm surprised we haven't watched that yet. Woman is suspected of murder after her husband's death. Their half-blind son faces a moral dilemma as the main witness. It is a
Wow.
foreign. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to throw that on the pile. 2.5 hours. All right.
Damn.
Drama. Yeah. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's all the movie news I had this week. It's a good week.
Nobody watched the Oscars. I like to get the clips,
Yeah.
you know.
Watch
But it
Cena
had
shuffle
it
in.
was just above the lowest ratings they've had. It was just above that. Barely scraped by.
Well,
But yeah. We're skipping trailers because we got a little bit of a time crunch here. Next week, Poor Things. Excited to watch this?
yes.
We're gonna see why. Just from seeing the trailer, like Emma Stone put on a hell of a show. I think that's why she.
Just from scrolling through Twitter, X, whatever, I can tell that Emma Stone puts on a good show.
Yeah. Because people were pissed that she beat out the chick from Killers of the Flower Moon. It's like, well, have you seen the movie? Because I haven't seen it yet. Once I see it, then I'll be like, oh, okay. I mean, for most of the time, that chick was just sick. Like,
I just remember the trailer was very odd.
Yeah. This is directed by the same guy that did Dogtooth, by the way.
Down.
Yeah.
wow.
And it's got a very Terry Gilliam look to it as
does.
well, which I'm excited about. So,
I mean, you can't out Terry the Gilliam.
You can try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm excited for Poor Things.
Poor Things. Next week.
Oh, yeah.
Checks in the mail.
And the flags are raised.